A private security company is now asking a judge to dismiss a lawsuit over its actions during a deadly mass shooting in a Raleigh neighborhood. Capitol Special Police is the defendant in this lawsuit.
Yeah, they were hired as security for the neighborhood and had an employee on duty there the day that Austin Thompson killed 5 people and hurt 2 others. The company's attorneys argue their employee did nothing wrong and the case has no merit.
Joining us now is our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. The HOA at one point was also involved in this suit. And so the neighborhood's claiming that they should have done more to prevent this mass shooting.
They as in Capitol Security, right? And so they've made this argument a number of times. The Capitol Security has requested to get away from this claim a number of times when the HOA made their arguments saying that there's no duty for a homeowners association to be have a duty to protect individuals within the community. The Capitol Security made the same argument. They said that because the shots took place in the location where they wouldn't even have been securing, that there was never a duty, and they've come back and said, well, the plaintiffs did, saying, well, look, there were 30+ shots before you guys even responded. I think the question is, do you owe a duty before have you breached that duty gets to that portion? I think I would have to look at the contract and see what they're making the allegations of what they were protecting. The plaintiffs are saying they led them to believe that this security company would have securing the area. The security company is coming back and saying, no, we had no expectation to go into homes and do all that type of security, just basically securing the perimeter and access in and out of the location.
You definitely have 2 very different expectations. Yes. You have contract language, which I know the company is saying, hey, this is what we signed up for. What would allow, why would a judge allow this to continue?
If the language in the contract it gave you the appearance that the security company was doing more than just, security at the front gate, in access and signing people in, as opposed to armed security protecting the neighborhood, I think it's a stretch in terms of the argument first, that the private security there had a duty to protect. So I think it's going to be hard to have this case to continue to go forward. But there was a lot of case law that was thrown at the judge. And so this isn't an easy one where you walk away and say, hey, they have no case at all. But trying to find accountability in these scenarios is hard. And so they added the HOA. They added the security, but this was a one-off type of scenario where you can't put an individual, I should say, companies on the hook for an individual's decision on the street. I mean, it started in the home, it went down the street, and so I think it's going to be hard to give accountability in terms of civil lawsuits. I think the avenue that the law would want you to go is criminal, and that's what happened. He was convicted of this type of charge, but to go civilly, I think finding them liable and responsible is going to be extremely hard.
One of the things, too, they said that they had brought concerns about Austin Thompson before to them and asked them to look into it. Khalif, where does that kind of line go between private security and what becomes a police matter?
I think that you've answered the way that I would suggest it. If you believe that there are concerns with an individual, the law would recommend that you go to law enforcement, not a private security that's, and the best way I can think of it is you go to a gated community. They're sitting there, they sign you in, they sign you out, you walk out. But I'm not expecting if some type of mass shooting happens that they're going to go guns blazing. Those folks would call law enforcement, and then they would expect law enforcement to come and help that scenario. This would be kind of like respondeat superior, attempting to hold responsible the inferior, the employee, right? But the only issue is that individual that did the shooting wasn't even the employee. So now they're trying to say, I want to hold responsible the individual company that should have been protecting. Again, it's unfortunate. Let's be clear. Right. All of this that happened is the worst type of scenario. I just don't believe this is the path or avenue that the law would prescribe for you to get some type of justice, specifically civil justice. It's criminal, but civilly, either one of the 2 that were listed, I don't think that the mechanism that's in place in terms of tort liability, duty, breach, causation, and damages, you have to start with a duty, and I just don't see the duty.
And this has been tied up in court for a while. Do you see it continuing to be tied up or coming to a resolution?
I think it should be at a resolution pretty soon. I mean, like you mentioned, 2022 is a long time. That's 4 years. That's 4 years of litigation, discovery, depositions, interrogatories. All of that is taking a toll on everybody involved in this scenario. But I do commend any judge that listens to this, because you want to make sure they get it right. You don't want a judge to hear an argument with 50+ case law examples and then make a ruling right there. You want them to take their time, evaluate everything that was presented, and then make a decision.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.